Okay, so we can pause and think and reflect. The core idea behind models-based practice is that we identify key learning outcomes and we align subject matter and teaching strategies to achieve these outcomes. We identify key learning outcomes and we align subject matter and teaching strategies to achieve these outcomes. But we must also take note of specific contexts in which pedagogical models for physical education are to be implemented. So these are the key terms. Learning, curriculum or content, teaching, and context. These are the key concepts around pedagogical models-based practice.
Esses são os principais, são os elementos principais da prática baseada no modelo. Aprendizagem, alinhamento, conteúdo e estratégia.
So, let me give you now some examples of pedagogical models in physical education. I'm going to speak about one in particular, sport education developed by Seatentop. But there's also teaching games for understanding, which I think some of you will be familiar with here, developed by Bunker and Thorpe, my colleagues from Loughborough University. Personal and social responsibility, developed by Don Hellison, who's worked for 40 years in the ghettos of Chicago. And then cooperative learning, most probably best known person here is Ben Dyson. One thing to say about each of these models. When they were developed, Teaching Games for Understanding, 1981, 82, sport education through the 80s and early 90s, Hellison from the 70s and early 80s, they were not thinking that they were developing pedagogical models. They were developing sport education, TGFU, cooperative learning, and so on. They had no concept of models-based practice. So you need to understand that this is my reconceptualization of their work. And the models don't necessarily follow Metzler's processes. They don't have Metzler's features necessarily. But I'll show you the best example in a second once Regina translates this literature.
Bom, esses modelos que estão aí no PowerPoint, o primeiro foi desenvolvido entre os anos 80 e 90, o segundo mais ou menos em 81, o terceiro por volta entre 70 e 80 também. Ela foi desenvolvido responsabilidade pessoal social nos guetos de Chicago, né? O importante é enfatizar aqui que eles não foram desenvolvidos inicialmente como modelos pedagógicos. Não existe aqui um conceito da prática baseada no modelo. Essa ideia, essa colocação, a maneira como isso está posto aí, é uma reinterpretação minha desses modelos, desses outros profissionais.
Okay, so I want to give you the example. I think that sport education for me is the best developed pedagogical model that we currently have in physical education. So in terms of theory and rationale, Seaton told me he was very dissatisfied with the way that sport is represented in traditional physical education. And here he's talking about basically the sport-based programs that I discussed at the introduction of the lecture. He says that sport forms an important part of physical education, but we don't teach sport very well.
Ele afirma que o esporte é uma parte extremamente relevante da educação física, no entanto, ele não é ensinado de uma maneira correta.
So what does he say is wrong with the teaching of sport? He says it's misrepresented and distorted. Sport is misrepresented and distorted. The main educational value of sport is missing. Students' experiences are not, they lack authenticity. And sport is viewed as something trivial as if to let off steam.
Na verdade, com uma oportunidade de relaxar, onde você, depois de estar muito estressado, pratica um pouco de esporte e se sente bem, né?
Siegenthaler takes a different view. He says, on the contrary, that sport can contribute to a sound, sane and humane sport culture, fostering sport in all its forms for all people. So he has a very inclusive concept and a very positive concept of the educational value of sport.
Ele tem uma visão bastante inclusiva e positiva do esporte em si, da inclusão do esporte.
And for those of you who are interested, Siegenthaler has developed the theory and rationale in various publications based on the moral philosophy of Alasdair MacIntyre, who has written about virtue ethics. And I have also made a small contribution in this area in a special issue of the Journal of Teaching and Physical Education. And I can give you the references for this if you're interested in following this through.
Então, para aqueles de vocês que estão interessados em saber um pouco mais sobre isso, o MacIntyre escreveu, e eu fiz uma pequena contribuição também. Isso pode ser encontrado no Jornal da Educação. Para aqueles que se interessarem, depois eu posso lhes passar as referências e as informações necessárias.
So there's a good theoretical grounding for sport education, a good educational rationale for sport education.
Então, na verdade, existe uma fundamentação teórica bastante boa, uma justificativa bastante boa da necessidade da educação esportiva, do modelo de educação esportiva.
Okay, so you know there are three components we must consider: learning outcomes, curriculum or content, and teaching strategies. So let's look first of all at the key learning outcomes for sport education.
Vocês já sabem que existem três componentes extremamente importantes: os resultados de aprendizagem, o currículo e as estratégias de ensino. Nós vamos começar com os resultados de aprendizagem.
Okay, so Siegenthaler argues there are three key learning outcomes for sport education. That someone becomes a competent sport person, a literate sport person, and an enthusiastic sports person. Someone who's a competent sport person learns a range of skills and strategies that allows them to participate successfully in a game or sport. So it's very important that we learn to a reasonable level how to play games and sports.
É muito importante que a gente permita que as pessoas cheguem num nível razoável para poder jogar e participar de jogos e esportes.
A literate sport person is somebody who learns the rules, the values, and the traditions, the customs that are associated with a specific sport. Somebody who can distinguish between good and bad sport practices. In a sense, then, somebody who is able to make moral judgments in the context of a sport.
De uma certa maneira, é alguém que sabe fazer julgamentos morais dentro de um conteúdo esportivo.
An enthusiastic sports person, Siegenthaler says, is someone who plays and behaves in ways that preserve, protect, and enhance the sport culture. This is a wider concept, if you like, understanding that we all must play well to preserve the values of sport.
Trata-se de conceito mais amplo, que nós jogamos bem para preservar as qualidades de esporte.
So these are the key learning outcomes. How do we achieve these? What's the content of sport education? What's the subject matter?
Qual é o assunto do esporte? Esses três componentes, como conseguimos isso? Qual é o assunto, o conteúdo do esporte?
And the subject matter is
Se o conteúdo é?
It's not a sport, it's sport. But Siegenthaler says that there are some key characteristics of sport that are typically missing from school physical education lessons that are the key features of sport education.
Segundo ele, existem algumas características centrais que estão ausentes na educação física, no esporte.
So he says that sport must have seasons. All sports have seasons. All sports involve affiliation, a sense of belonging to the team. You wear the badge proudly, you're a member of the team.
Essa sensação de pertencimento, né, quando se refere à nação, de ser parte de alguma coisa maior que você mesmo.
Formal competition, inescapable. It's an essential aspect of sport, says Siedentop. You must have competition.
Segundo Siedentop, isso não dá para escapar disso. Isso é a essência do esporte.
He says, culminating event, the finals, the gala, the carnival. There must be some culminating, some peak event.
Segundo ele, deve haver algum evento culminante, né? Um pico, ou seja, uma partida especial, uma final, as festividades, carnaval, coisas do gênero.
And so if we skip to this one, festivity is very closely linked to this idea of a culminating event. Festivity. Banners and colours and so on.
Se nós pularmos do evento culminante para a festividade, vocês vão ver que eles estão bastante ligados, as cores, as festividades, o movimento que envolve, né? Eles são bastante similares.
And finally, there's record keeping records. Who scored the most goals this season? Who was the best and fairest player in the season? And who made the most number of assists? Sport lends itself to this kind of record keeping.
E depois a gente tem a manutenção dos registros, né? Isso é importante. Quem fez mais gols nessa temporada, quem fez melhor, quem foi o melhor jogador, quem fez os melhores passes e assim por diante.
So let me use this as an example to help you understand the concept of design specification.
Deixa eu usar isso para explicar melhor para vocês o conceito de especificação de design.
As a teacher, you take each of these key characteristics. You must have each feature. If you don't have seasons, if you don't have record keeping, you're not doing sport education. But how you do these with your kids in your local context will look very different from one person to another person.
Então, como professores, nós somos obrigados a trabalhar com essas características principais. Se você não está fazendo isso, você não está fazendo educação esportiva. Agora, como isso é feito, de que maneira isso é desenvolvido, vai variar de um professor para o outro.
So, although Siedentop doesn't use this language, I call these critical elements. You must have these in every sport education program. And I would make another argument too. If you do not include these, you have less chance of meeting the learning outcomes.
Então, eu chamo isso de elementos cruciais. Você tem que ter esses elementos, né? Se você não tiver isso, as suas chances são muito menores de conseguir os resultados de esportes pretendidos.
But I should add the rider that this is an empirical point to be investigated. We need research to find out if this is true. If we include all of these, do we achieve the learning outcomes or not?
Eu devo acrescentar que nós precisamos de bastante pesquisa nesse assunto. A minha pergunta é, se nós incluirmos tudo isso, nós vamos alcançar os resultados de aprendizado pretendidos?
Okay, and then the third component is teaching or coaching, instruction. And here, is everyone familiar with the work of Mostyn?
Todos vocês conhecem o Spectrum de Mostyn?
Mostyn, yeah, people know. Okay, so as you know, Mostyn has a spectrum of teaching styles. In sport education, in fact, we would use many of these. Because there are times when some direction is important, but most of the time, especially when teams are working together, organizing themselves, the teacher becomes a facilitator with less direct instruction. But the teaching styles, there's no one teaching style that suits for sport education. We would use a range of teaching styles.
Não há apenas estilo de ensino que se adequa aqui. Nós usamos uma variedade de estilos que estão aí na